We're going to record. All right, we are recording. So, welcome to the recorded version of episode 2 of my Stop Selling Mailcast. I am about to hit record on the audio version that goes straight to my Substack. So, if you're watching this on video, you're getting a little of the behind the scenes, and they're not going to hear any of this. And then once I click start, I think there's a little countdown, and then I will start today's episode. A is for audience. All right, so here we go. I don't know what the fuck this is. Let's close that. I use Ecamm Live, by the way. Shout out to Ecamm Live again. If you're watching this video, this is the bonus stuff. I use Ecamm Live to produce the video, to control what camera I'm looking at, or not what I'm looking at. That I use my brain, but I use this little Stream Deck. See that? Little buttons. And I can hit those buttons and change the camera. I could have a third camera plugged in over here, and you could have a completely different view, but for some reason, I don't have that set up. Tune in the future. Maybe I'll have that today. It's a 2-camera shoot. This is my desktop that I work from, and this is my camera that I shoot my nice content with. Anywho, shout out to Ecamm Live. That is who I use to create recordings, but it's also what I use for live streams. I absolutely love not only the product, but the community. So if you are on a Mac and you are looking for a piece of software that can help you both live stream and record videos, check out Ecamm. I can't be bothered to create an affiliate link, so I've got nothing for you to click there. You'll just have to Google them and go from there. All right, I'm going to click record over here, and we are going to do an episode. My phone just rang, which reminds me to turn off my phone noise. There's a pro tip for you. I forgot to do that. So now you're really getting a sense for how unprepared and fakakta things are for me. All right, so let's go ahead and hit record, and then we're going to do the A is for audience episode of the Mailcast. And welcome to episode 2 of the Stop Selling Mailcast. Today's episode is called A is for Audience. My name is Stefan, and I am your host, or whatever. A is for Audience. So this is, if you listen to the last episode, you know that I've just fired up this thing that I'm calling a Mailcast, which is an email-only available Mailcast or podcast, mini podcast, because I want to keep these to 5 minutes or so. And what is the purpose? If you are in marketing, which I hope you are, if you're a small business person, if you're an entrepreneur, a solopreneur building a business, or even have a larger business, if you are not building a list through content, I highly recommend that you do that. And what are you building a list of? Of people who are in your audience. And that is our word for the day or the week or the month, depending on how frequently you are listening to this. So A is for audience. So I am using a Mailcast, which again, everything is a teaching moment. So I would encourage you to check out what a Mailcast could be. I may have coined that term. I'm not entirely sure. But for me, it is using a service like Substack, which I am using for free, and you can too. Again, no affiliate link. I'm just sharing the good stuff with you. Substack is what I am using to be able to offer to people that listen to me on other programs, podcast shows, etc., wherever I may be. I want to have one thing that I can send people to build a list. And that is what podcasts often struggle with. Now, in YouTube, you can always get people to subscribe to your channel, and that, I guess, does that. But if you're looking to build an email list, I think this is a great way to do it. So today, the lesson is all about A for audience, because what I wanted to do was figure out, where do we start this conversation of stop selling, and a recap of what do I mean by stop selling. Obviously, we have to sell our products and services to grow our business. But what I'm trying to put out there is that maybe we can do a little less selling, and I put selling in quotes because I mean all of the negative stuff, the stuff that we really don't enjoy, right? The calling of strangers, the chasing of strangers, I like to say, the calling of people who were not expecting your call and don't want to speak to you. Now, look, there are people that are cut out for cold calling, and there are people that are cut out for just cold sales in general. And that's terrific. I don't think I was one of them. I did well enough at it for, I guess, long enough until I didn't want to do it anymore. But I think that there is another way. And I can tell you that top producers in virtually every industry that I've ever been in, from real estate to SaaS technology, you name it, top producers are much more referral based. I mean, certainly in real estate, insurance, and consulting and coaching and so on and so forth are referral based, maybe a little bit less in B2B SaaS sales where there still has to be outreach. But I can tell you that the people at the top of their game, they build audiences. They build audiences of people who get to know, like, and trust them, to kind of work that phrase to death. We all do, because it really is so true. And so that is what I want to start the conversation for Stop Selling, that we can do less chasing of strangers. We can do less cold calling. We can do less cold following up. We can do less cold outreach when we are more visible and credible in market, when our name is bantered around by more people in the profession, and whatever your profession may be in market. That's when you're getting more phone calls, more emails, more inquiries from people who have been suggested to contact you, where there has been a transfer of trust, or have just been consuming your own content online over a period of time that they've got to know you at first, and then like you, hopefully, and then obviously after listening to you for a while, they get a sense of trusting you. And so that is what this is. This Mailcast, this my consultancy, this really all the content that I'll create. I've got a new live show, weekly show that'll be launching soon called Audience Builders Live that I'm really excited about. And but really everything that I'm doing, it all comes back down to this. It's building an audience of people that get to know, like, trust, and want to do business with you. So that is my word for the day. That is what I want to plant in your ear, in your mind, is that I'm less interested in using words like prospects and clients, and I want to talk about building an audience. For me, I like to think in terms of programming and shows and creating value through content. And hopefully this is just one way, these really brief weekly episodes that are delivered right into your inbox. You can't get them anywhere else. I suppose I'm recording a video right now, which means you could get them somewhere else. So I'm going to have to think through that. Because I've just recorded this on video. If you're listening to this on audio, I thought I was being really smart. And I'm sure there is a reason to do that. Maybe for you people that are already members who want it, I will make it unlisted on YouTube, something like that. So if you wanted to check out the video version, you could. So I figured, look, I've got cameras here. I use cameras all the time. Why not record the video of this? All right, so back on track. How long are we? We're over 5 minutes. Let's wrap it up. That's it, audience. That's what we're going to be building. That's what I am going to be talking about. Hopefully there was something in here that was useful and that encourages you to open up next week's. That's it for me. We'll talk to you next time. Take care. All right. Well, I went a little bit longer than I intended. I think I may have rambled through a bunch of that, which happens sometimes, but I am that guy that just has a need to shoot extemporaneously, because if I go to try to script this, and I'm not saying there's not a place for that, but if that's what I was going to do, I would have spent hours and hours doing it, in which case this would have become too expensive of an activity. I hope that makes sense, right? So when we're doing things like this, even though I'm creating the content, I have all the equipment, there's nobody else here, this isn't free. This use of my time is not free. So I need to be able to bang out this content pretty quickly for a Mailcast, right? That over time will have value, but initially is not going to have a lot of value. This is not going to bring me a client in the immediate, in the short term. It will over the long term. So that investment of time has to be, there's got to be some logic behind it, right? And so by just forcing myself to go live and record and stick to 5 minutes, boom, I got to go. Some of it's going to be good. Once in a while, maybe great, and good enough to ship, right? It's not total garbage. Certainly came from my heart. Could it have been better? Of course. Could it have been tighter? Of course. Could have been all of those things. But my overthinking it and working on it and making it tighter and all of that stuff would have led to me not getting it done. Or if I did get it done, it just became really expensive and would have needed to pay off much sooner than later. All right. Well, hopefully these little intros and outros or whatever this is entertaining or interesting or hopefully useful to somebody out there watching. Again, hi to my mom and Mark. Those are the people I always know will take a look at my stuff. And yeah, let's see. I'm going to be doing this kind of stuff and creating content in 2022 in a big way, big jump from where I was last year. I guess I've got to eat my own dog food. I've been working with people on creating ideas and execution strategies and tactics for harnessing the power of content for a long time, but I just haven't been doing it for myself. So that is now changed. And here I am making content and putting it out there. All right. Well, that is it for whatever episode of whatever this is. Hopefully we will see you sometime on a Zoom call one-on-one or in one of my live group thingamajiggies. And that's it. Wishing you nothing but productivity and progress. Take care. Just made that up. All right. See you.